Hey everybody, it's Eric Mitchell here with Gold Star Mortgage with Jody Perry, our market leader from the DMV, the DC, Maryland, Virginia market. Jody, as always, great to see you.
Great to be here. Thank you.
So we want to chat about our technology stack today. We had some announcements this week. It is currently July 2022. And we had some big announcements this week. So we want to just push out a video about what's going on with our current tech stack, what's the client experience, what's the realtor experience. And so, Encompass, obviously, in the bottom right of this screen for those of you watching. So by the way, if you're watching this video, you are more than likely a mortgage professional and you're inquiring about our tech stack. What is it that's special about Gold Star? Why Gold Star? And so that's the purpose, is we want to try and help you understand. So Encompass is our loan origination software, probably the largest player in that space. I think their stat is 60% of all mortgages in the United States go through Encompass software. We are their poster child. We won their Hall of Fame award again this year for data. So we've already done some videos about how we keep winning their Hall of Fame award every year with Encompass. So I think we keep getting better at that component of it, but that is just the loan origination software, right? And so that's one piece of what we do. And then if you move to the left, we've got SnapDocs. So the reason we plug SnapDocs into our ecosystem, and when you look at it, so the reason they're all plugged in is we built something called ConnectGS. And Jody, I know when you first looked at coming to Gold Star, right? And I logged you into ConnectGS and you saw a web-based, right? Not a Citrix-based, but a web-based platform that you could access anywhere on the internet. You're like, what?
Hours of my life, like
right.
Just being able to log into a website and from anywhere in the world instead of needing permission and VPNs and all kinds of fun stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah. Oh my God. It just makes life so much easier. And so what we wanted to try and do when you look at this image is help you understand that we're creating a single system, single login, single, client, single login, single system, realtor, single login, single system, loan officer, single login, single system. No matter what's going on, no matter which way you're coming in through a single portal. And so that's what creates the good client experience, the good realtor experience, the good loan officer experience, is you're always coming in through a single method. And so SnapDocs, what we understand is the mortgage experience is going digital, right? And it's what we call hybrid digital now, where we're probably 90 to 95% e-signature on almost all documents. But very soon it's going to be fully digital, like 100% digital. And the moment that happens, SnapDocs is ready for it. The moment we're able to go, and so that day, like the day that we're allowed to go there, we're going to go there with our ability, because SnapDocs is already plugged in. We're already at 95% digital with e-signatures, and so SnapDocs is that provider that allows us that ability. And so it's still part of that single system, and it's just so user friendly. It's incredible. I mean, what they've built. Optimal Blue moving over, so that's our pricing engine, which is integrated through Encompass, through Simple Nexus, through Mortgage Coach, through everything else, right? It's integrated through all of it. So it plugs into the mobile app. When you look at Connect Client, Connect Realtor, Connect Mobile, Click, it's integrated so that the pricing is moving and flowing through all of it, so that there's a transparency that when we're creating a mortgage coach, when for our clients, when the loan officer is trying to lock a rate and they're on their phone, or it might be a Saturday at 2 o'clock, and the client saying, hey, I want to lock my rate, or it's a Tuesday night and some bad news comes on the news, and we know that we're going to get a bad reprice tomorrow, and I need to lock my client's rates, but I'm away from my computer. I can lock my rates with my phone because of the Optimal Blue integrations into everything is all mobile. I can do all of those things, and so that's what Optimal Blue allows us, and so that's a brilliant integration for us. Then moving next, Simple Nexus. So that's our client point of sale. So if you're a consumer and you go to Jody, right? If I go to Jody's website, and so your website is dmblocallender.com. Is that correct?
Correct.
So dmvlocallender.com. I go to that website, I click on apply. As soon as I click on apply, right, I am now inside the Simple Nexus environment, which is a very dynamic, very consumer-friendly ecosystem, also plugged into ConnectGS, so that what we want is that client to have just an incredibly easy, incredibly friendly environment that just is so simple for them to walk through their application process. And so that is our Simple Nexus plug. Then moving up into Mortgage Coach. So it's really, I've been a big fan of Mortgage Coach for, they've been around for 20 years. They're the leader in client presentations, helping consumers really understand the financial decisions that they're making, right? Do I choose a 30-year fixed, a 20-year fixed, 15-year fixed? Do I pay points? Do I not pay points? Should I refinance? Should I not refinance? Do I pay off credit cards? Do I not pay off credit cards, right? What's my cash to close? How much is my property taxes going to be, et cetera? And so as a consumer, the decisions are complicated. Most loan officers struggle really presenting to the client those choices in a very effective way where the client can understand them. And I would say 90% of loan officers don't present it well at all. And those that are adopting software like Mortgage Coach, it's a very heavy lift, right? A lot of data entry, it's very labor intensive. And so they choose not to. And so our big announcement this week, right, was that we integrated Mortgage Coach right into all of our everything else. So it's built into Simple Nexus, it's built into Homebot, it's built into Optimal Blue. And so there's no more heavy lift for our loan officers, fully automated, fully integrated, it just carries over. And so now our loan officers are able to push out these beautiful, beautiful analytics out to the consumers so consumers can make really educated decisions based on transparent information. So that was super, super exciting to get that out this week. And so that was a big announcement. How did you feel about that, Jody?
Yeah, so I've been a Mortgage Coach user, and the challenge is it's an amazing program. The client wins when you use Mortgage Coach, but there's so much data entry. So I'm in Encompass and I'm working a file, or I used to work with PCL, or I used to work with other points of sale, right? Or other systems. And then you go into Mortgage Coach and you got to put all of the information in again. So the data entry piece is, oh my God, and I don't have another 30 minutes right now to put it all in here to then send it out to my client. So this integration, you know me, Eric, time is like everything to me now. Like I feel like we're all on borrowed time. So I don't want to take something I've already done once and then have to type it, actual data entry it again to be able to give my client this amazing experience. So, and full disclosure, the last 3 years, I wasn't using Mortgage Coach because it became so cumbersome to do that. We just rolled it out where it's all integrated. It pulls everything from everything's talking to one another, click on a button, and there's no more data entry. So it's brilliant. It's a game changer. I could not be any more excited about it. I don't know how this is like flying first class and then having to go back to coach. There's no way. There's no way I can.
No way to go backwards.
There's no way to go back.
Once you can't unsee it. You can't unsee it. Yeah, you can't unsee it. That's for sure. You can't unsee it. Yeah, we were super excited to be able to roll that out. And then Homebot. So I know you've been on, but you've been using Homebot now for a little bit. And what's been your client experience?
The client
feedback.
The clients are so wowed by this. Like I get, it's been weeks since I rolled it out to all of my client database, and I'm still getting texts or emails every day like, this app is so cool. And from a lending standpoint, it creates more business because I can see not only that they're in there, but what are they doing in there? Are they looking at refinance options? Are they looking at other properties? I mean, it's fantastic. And the feedback on this has been, they're really thankful that I have provided such an amazing tool to them.
And the funny part is as well, now that Mortgage Coach is integrated into our systems, Mortgage Coach is now also integrated into Homebot and also into Homebinder. And so as our clients are receiving these Homebot and Homebinder emails, the Mortgage Coach option is sitting right there for them to also engage and create their own mortgage coach requests. Hey, I'm curious about my options here.
Debt consolidate, right?
Yeah, it's incredible. And Homebinder. So for those of you that are not familiar with Homebinder, it's kind of like Carfax, except for your house and on steroids. And so it's a brilliant double strategy where Homebot and Homebinder, they're not the same at all, but really what we're trying to do is create massive value for our clients, but also co-brand our realtors post-close, right? So the realtors are always co-branded on every single email that goes out, and we're keeping our clients away from Zillow. So the combination of Homebot and Homebinder, there's absolutely no reason for a client to ever want to go to Zillow because it's providing all of their information in a very proactive environment. And so those two combination, it's a 1-2 punch that's just incredibly valuable. And then you get into Connect Client, Connect Realtor, and Connect Mobile. So from a Connect Client standpoint, right? So your customers, right? They're filling out their loan applications on their phones. They're uploading their documents on their phones. Right.
Our phone's a scanner. Like, this was a game changer for me with you guys, because I don't know how many times I had somebody like, I can't do that till Friday because nobody has a printer scanner at home anymore. And they're like, this has to be wet signed and it has to be sent over to you. And so they had to print it. So now everything's like, the phone's a scanner. I've had so many like people like, what? I'm like, yeah, that's why you should do it on your phone, because your phone's a scanner. And they're like, oh my God, you just saved me a week of having to worry about how I was going to get this to you. So amazing.
Yeah, it's so convenient. And Mortgage Coach is built into Connect Client as well. And so the client from their phone can also choose Mortgage Coach, right in the app. They can also look at their analysis, et cetera, and their options right from their phone. It's just incredible how all of this is just so integrated. And then the Connect Realtor. So your realtors can also look from their phone and see the status of all of their referrals, right? So if they referred you 17 clients, they can open up their app and there's the 17 clients that they referred you and the complete status of where they are and all the pre-approvals, right? So that must be saving you a ton of time.
Oh, like it's nice because you don't have to be, you can still be providing really high customer service without having to touch the files. So it's fantastic. It does it for you.
Yeah.
And time saving. When I look at this, all I see is more of my life back. That's what it represents to me, is more time to do the things that are also important to me, not just work. So
love it. And so then we swing over to artificial intelligence. So that's where we start plugging in the soft credit pulls and all the data analytics and driving leads to our loan officers, driving leads to our realtors, the combination of all those things inside the same ecosystem. And so how are you finding that with your realtor teams? Like, are your realtor teams engaging in leads? Are they enjoying doing business with you? Are they saying, hey, Jody, oh my God, like no loan officer's ever given me leads like this before? Like what's that been for you?
I will be honest with you. Their first, the first response is, oh my God, you didn't lie. I'm getting leads because, so Eric, I'm kind of the joke around the company that I have data dump parties because I've recognized that the way to get people to move is to actually help them with it. So I get people. I've had 10-person teams sitting around a table. We data dump. We get it into the AI.
So when you say data dump, hold on. So I want people listening to this to understand what that means. So literally, you'll have a lunch or a happy hour or an office get together, whatever it is, and they one by one they unlock their cell phones, and they hand you their cell phone one by one, and then you take their cell phone contacts and you export their cell phone contacts to their email, so they can forward their email to upload their cell phone contacts into their CRM, so that we can start doing soft credit pulls, et cetera, on their cell phones and their CRMs. So they're literally, so these realtors are literally handing you their cell phones.
Yeah. And when they see that I literally, when they hand me the phone, I go, do, and I hand them back their phone and they're like, seriously? I'm like, yeah, it's literally a 20, if you're a little off that day, 30-second exercise. And we have their entire phone now in a format that we can now send it into for soft credit pulls every day. And then they start getting it. Like my favorite time of day every day right now is sometime between 9 and 10. That's when all of my credit pulls from overnight come in. And that's when I start giving people Christmas presents every day.
Oh
and
my God,
it's amazing.
That's so exciting. So tell me, so you were telling me a story. You were at a BNI meeting with somebody on your team. There's a realtor in the room, and the realtor says to the person on your team, "Hey, I'm curious about Gold Star." And the person on your team says, "Jody, can you tell this realtor about Gold Star?" And then you explained all of our value to the realtor. What was the realtor's response?
I know this sounds like a total sales pitch thing, but it's 100%. I've never sat with a realtor that did not say, I want to do this and I want to do it now. When can we do the data dump? Because the timing of the system is better than ever, because people are 20 to 30 to 50% down on their business. So how are they going to create more business when there's less business? Well, one of the ways is that we can provide them unlimited leads from their database and get them back into the game where
that's a big statement, Jody, when we say unlimited, right? Like people hear that and go, "Oh, you can't." It's like, no, we can, like, you're not. So instead of saying it can't be done, because you and I both hear that all the time, right? "Oh, you can't." It's like, instead of saying that, why don't you just ask us how? Instead of saying it can't be, why don't you say, how do you do that? So that you go, oh, that's how you're doing it. There we go. Because we are doing it, right? You just have to ask us how, instead of being the naysayer. Just learn how we're doing it. Then you'll realize, oh, it's actually quite simple. It's incredibly simple to do it.
So I do remember meeting you years ago, and you were on a call and you talked about the soft credit pulls. And I remember afterwards I followed up with you because you're like, if you want to know, if you want me to show you how to do it. And because I'm like, well, why can't I just do this at my company? And then I learned the story of talking to you and about how it took 2 years to figure out how to do it compliantly and all that stuff. But it's like a machine now. And it is, I almost feel selfish that I have all of this. And it's a time when people need more. The realtors need more. And I'm giving them more than anyone else on the street. And I'm doing it. It looks like Jody's super amazing, but most of this stuff is running behind the scenes with very little lift from me.
Yeah.
And there's never been in my opinion, there's never been a better time to have all of this, because they need us right now. And we're able to provide so much value to them and so many opportunities for more business.
Yeah, it feels good to be in that position for sure. And then lastly, the AIQ component. So AIQ is another piece of software that plugs into Encompass that does the automatic analysis of documents. So tax returns, bank statements, pay stubs, insurance documents, appraisals, so that it speeds up all of our underwriting, speeds up all of our processing, so that files are just going through. So right now, like, honestly, don't exaggerate, don't embellish. What's your average underwriting turn time right now?
A day or less. If I submit it in the morning, I have it that day. Worst cases, it gets submitted later in the day and it's back. Everything's moving so much faster. I would just have the conversation with that at that meeting that you were just referring to. I said, the 8 day that we have to follow for TRID, it's gonna be too much time soon for us, because we're moving so fast that we could probably close. We're going to be to a place where we can close sooner than 8 days. But my contract to close is across the board 12 days, unless it's a VA loan and we have to follow the VA appraisal guidelines. But 12 days in our sleep without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
And the key is not pushing anybody and not calling all my favors in. Right. I don't have to do any of that. It just is. And the AIQ, is pretty special, because it it verifies everything, including DU, and it creates a much more seamless, less conditions. Again, back to the client and the real estate, the real estate experience, the realtor experience. We want it to be the best each and every time. And with all this, that's what we are creating.
And you and I've been around a long time, and the worst experiences that I've ever had is when you're mid contract, you're mid transaction, and you got to call a borrower with a new condition, right? An underwriter sends you an email saying, oops, I just realized I also need, right? And now you're calling the borrower saying, oops, my underwriter. It's like, oh my God, those phone calls just, they suck the soul right out of my body when those happen. And now you got to call the realtor, you got to call the client, and it just crushes your confidence as a loan officer to try and go out and get 10 more clients and 10 more realtors.
And so it ruins relationships.
It really does. It does.
Yeah.
And so now having AIQ, it removes that, right? Like it just removes all of that, because it conditions all that up front from a software standpoint, where we're not running into that anymore. And so,
and let's add that we upfront underwrite all of our files anyway.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I mean, from a loan officer standpoint, that is so much confidence that it's already been through. Like I've been doing this a long time. I know what I'm doing, but I still want I don't exhale until the underwriter has given it the thumbs up. So this allows a lot of it done up front before it's even to the underwriter. And then we pretty much know if there's any weird things that may be potholes up front. So it's fantastic.
Yeah. So when you look at this tech stack, you know, for me, the confidence as a loan officer, being out with realtors, being with clients, being with financial planners, CPAs, attorneys, insurance agents, referral partners, people that are relying on my promise, right? As a loan officer, I'm making a promise. Hey, I'm going to take care of your clients. I'm going to make sure that they have a good experience. It's based on the system that I'm going to plug into. And this tech stack is just so beautiful to me. I just look at it, I go, oh my God, this is just heaven. You know, where have you been all my life? And so I'm so grateful that as a company, we've been able to build this and allow loan officers to take this to market. And so, you know, it's exciting watching the results you're getting. You know, I see your, you know, your stats and your numbers and the excitement of everybody on your team and what's going on in the DMV marketplace. And I know you got some monster events coming up in August and September, October, November. Like you guys are just, oh my God, it's crazy what's going on in your marketplace. So congratulations on all your success.
Thank you. It's a great time to grow.
Yeah, no, it is. When everybody else is shrinking, you know, watching you and your team growing so rapidly is it's pretty exciting to watch. And then lastly, anybody that has questions, I'll throw up a quick, there's our phone number on our website. If you have any questions, feel free to call us. Jody, as always, thank you so much for your time.
It was great. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.